And welcome back to episode 5 of the Lift Éire Podcast. I'm joined today by two special guests. We've got Emma McDermott, two-time IrishPF National Champion, 5-time international representative in the Éire singlet. We've also got Jake Brennan, first man to ever total 1,000 kilos, quite possibly still the only man to have totaled 1,000 kilos from Ireland, Jake, you?
Yep.
So, first to squat over 400 in competition.
Yep.
So, a lot of history sitting in these two chairs today. So, we're very, very lucky to have these two guests on. Guys, thank you for coming on. How are you feeling?
You're welcome.
Good. First time.
Yeah, Emma's first podcast.
Nerves.
Don't be too nervous.
Dude.
I'd be nervous if I was sitting beside Jake as well. So that's why I'm over here.
Yeah, I just don't know what he's going to say.
Oh.
So I suppose we'll get into today's episode, guys, is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be bringing any powerlifting news. We've got that pretty much covered. Not a whole lot happens in strength sports across a week. So this is our third time recording this week. So what I thought would be really interesting, especially given the long history you two have as lifters and the amount of experience you have both as lifters and coaches, you've both been around for everything. So I figured today would be a really good way to give some training insights, some coaching insights, just really giving some good advice to the viewers and actually be able to tell a little bit of your story so people can kind of see what it takes to get to the top level in Irish powerlifting. How come you're still not at the top then?
Except I am.
You do, to be fair, you've had that total.
Thank fuck. That's the only thing I have.
Yeah. No, you're sound too. I've always liked you. You've always been nice to me.
You're a terrible judge of character.
That's awesome, true. That's my ex-wife. She probably watches this too.
Fuck you.
All right, so guys, let's talk about it. Like that journey to the top. So Emma, I'd really like to hear kind of that path to success that you have, kind of your early days, how you got into powerlifting, and did you always want to be an international lifter? Is it just something that kind of happened for you?
Well, I had been training, I think now it's coming up on 10 years. So it's not something I've just done overnight. I have been training a long time. I was always kind of good at sports in school. When I got to secondary school, kind of fell out of it completely. And then as I got to kind of, literally. And then as I got to college then, once I finished college, took up a bit of training, kind of just general strength training. Then I got into weightlifting. So I actually did that for a year, did one comp. And kind of enjoyed squats, pulls, stuff like that more than the actual classic lifts. So then got into powerlifting. And
what about yourself then, Jake? How did you get into it? I know you spent some time in Australia, and that was maybe where some of that journey began. For anyone that's not familiar with you, how did you?
They fucking want to be at this stage. I've done loads of these things. I actually didn't know you'd done a year in Olympic lifting. That's good.
You thought I did CrossFit.
I thought it was CrossFit, but you jacked and stuff, and generally anyone in powerlifting that's jacked did.
Did we not say this?
I was waiting. How long is it going to take?
How long is it going to take?
Yeah, listen, as long as once it went live, I was like, yeah, get it.
Yeah, forget everything you said you weren't going to say. I'm saying it now. We're running now.
Dishing the dirt, baby.
Yeah. You said that you were a weightlifter. We'll come back to Jake in a minute. He's not that important. Everyone knows who he is. But it's your first time on a podcast, so we will keep it on you for a minute.
Okay.
Weightlifting, how did you get into weightlifting?
So I was in the gym at the time. I was in Raw gyms. They're gone now,
Oh, yeah, the old Rob Lipset gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And was training there at the time and was doing just Fitspo stuff, sprints on a treadmill, whatever. And one of the coaches at the time said, you look like you're quite explosive. Would you give weightlifting a go? And I was scrawny at the time. I think I was 58 kilos.
Yeah, a whole different person.
Yeah, 58.
I remember when you used to cut to 63 and you looked like Skeletor.
Yeah, well, even more Skeletor. So it was 58. So did that. And then as I was training for that, obviously, I knew I had to eat more and more. So again, I think the weight class at that time was 64.
Mm-hmm.
Could be 63, 64. But anyway, got up to 63, 64. And even that was huge at the time. But yeah, and just kept going since then.
And when you were how did you find that eating up into those weight classes for you? Because I know for a lot of people, especially for females, that can be something that really is quite a jarring thing or quite a jarring prospect for them. Obviously, for the likes of myself and Jake, we're not afraid of, a few extra meals. We're definitely notorious for creeping through the presses at night time in the kitchen. But for yourself, because you've always maintained a really decent level of conditioning, and kind of you clearly look after your physique. How was that for you, kind of knowing that you're going to eat up into multiple weight classes?
Oh, but if you had told me now when I was 58, you're going to be 76 plus, no way. No way. So that's been a process.
Just like a gradual increase over time. You get comfortable at a weight. You're like, that wasn't so bad.
Because again, when I was 58, like my concern was like, I want to be shredded. I want to have abs. And then slowly you forget about all that.
But that took you a long time to let go of 63 as well.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, I know you went up and then you came back down.
And then realised that was wrong.
Yeah. Well, I remember that because that was all abs and you kind of struggled with yourself because you hated
cutting,
but you hated being bigger.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was a time, I think we'd moved and you'd really leaned into the gain. And I was like, fucking shit.
Do you know what that was? That was the COVID bug.
COVID
Me and Jake are still on the COVID bug.
Came back and everyone was like, whoa, she put on like 6 kilos or something.
Man, and you leaned into it and it was good and it worked. And then you came back down and you've regrown back into this 76 class.
Yeah.
What are you now walking around that?
Now I'm lighter again now, but I think before nationals, the heaviest I got was 78, working with Anna for nutrition.
Yeah.
78. And then, leading into nationals, I think a month out, I was probably like 77. So 78 is the highest I've got.
So you sit right at the top end of the weight class and fill it out.
But even now, like after nationals now, discussed with like Jay and Anna, and they were saying, get even heavier.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Get more jack, get more strong.
Yeah. Literally.
When you touch the 80 mark, I mean, I don't see why, like, you're taking the weight well. You know, that's the way you're filling it out. You're not getting sloppy. So you might as well, if you can. What's the next weight class? 84?
84. And like the thing is like, is it on the horizon anytime soon? No, but I would never say no to 84. I don't think
everyone's sweating, you know that now.
That was a process to get that, that mindset that I can actually.
Yeah, now
grow.
I wouldn't care. I'm like, if I wanted to go 84, I would. But I've unfinished business. But
yeah. And then like, how do you find
nationals? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's. I said it in the last after we did the nationals review in the last podcast I did with Alex. And I said, I'm really excited because knowing you and knowing just the kind of person you are, how determined you are, I'm really excited to see this comeback around. It's like, it's not even a comeback. It's like, you're not gone anywhere, but I'm excited to see how you come back around from this and to see the improvements that you're going to make. If there's anyone that has always gotten just stuck in and is a real, like, if anyone looks like a professional, it's you. You're a consummate professional in the sport. You very much behave like an athlete. And I think for a lot of people, it's very inspiring to see it. So I'm very, very excited just to see what the next 12 months looks like for you and kind of see where that ends up this time next year. And we'll have to get you back on and go through it and talk through that whole process.
Well, as Joe the Beard used to say, she'd be great for cutting turf. He'd be out there all day. Good
back for cutting turf. Yeah.
So he was good. She's a good L workhorse.
Yeah, back home. Fine lump for a woman.
I was the Beard, all right, man. He was fucking great.
And for yourself, Jake, then, what was the pivotal turning point for you when you decided, like, obviously you started in Australia.
Yeah.
You got into power. I think you started with a bit of strongman, right?
Yeah, done that for a few months.
You were obviously shit at that.
It wasn't actually. Placed fourth my first comp after 2 weeks.
Yeah, there was 3 people in it.
In Victoria's Strongest Man, there was 9. You cunt.
But obviously, you found powerlifting. What was it about powerlifting that kept you coming back for that? Like, what is it for you? Because we all get hooked on it. Like, what is it?
What was it? The special needs in me. Honestly, like
that's literally what it is. Like even when you're saying to come, like, why would you come back? I'm like, it is like something a bit tapped. Like there is like that's just.
It's the touch of the tisms that we all have.
Was it John Hack told the lads at EPC a couple of months back that strongman is for people with OCD or for ADD, and powerlifting is for people with OCD.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm like, I can see it as well. It's kind of like when you like that structure, squatting, bench, and deadlift. Now, if you look at how Kia Madden trains now under the strength guys, it's very specific comp style, very little variation. There maybe outside of a tempo or a pause, but it's very, very specific linear percentage-based programming, which can build predictability. It works. It's data-driven, and I like it, but it is very
boring.
Or mundane.
It can be, but it works.
Yeah, but
but everything works.
But if you're okay with boring, and if you're okay with just seeing the same numbers, then that's okay. I mean, strongman is great. You fucking PB strongman every day you go in. You just change the lift.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like the old West Side methods.
But that's it. It keeps you interested. But like, I mean, I hear lads still talking about West Side. I'm training. No, you're not training West Side.
Yeah.
Spastic fucks don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, You're not doing any of the fucking successories that they used to do.
No. I mean, Louis Simmons is a big proponent of just hammering weak points.
Yeah.
Huge amount of tricep work. And again, a lot of it was applicable to equip lifting that, not that it wouldn't carry over into raw, but the way that he had people training, especially with the box squats, things like that, people kind of forget that he was training for specific competitions using specific equipment. Yeah. I'm a big fan of West Side and kind of how things developed from there. What are your own kind of views on training principles, Jake? Like for you, how do you train? Like how many days a week do you squat? What's your training methodologies?
Yeah, I haven't trained proper for a while now, but like, I mean, it depends on how far out I am and everything. Like if I'm on it and I'm just putting in putting in the work, putting in the miles, I'd squat Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. You know what I mean? A press variation every day, and a deadlift variation twice a week. Like I train 4 days a week.
Yeah.
But one thing you're good at, like, is that you don't overdo your Tuesday.
No.
People do that.
Yeah. No, the Tuesday, and this is something that Tuesday is recovery for Sunday. Warm you up for Thursday. It's just greasing the groove. I always treat Tuesday like the Monday before competition. Mm-hmm. You're just greasing the groove.
Yeah, you're just priming yourself.
Yeah, just what I mean, getting rid of the fucking DOMs, getting rid of the shit from Sunday. And wake up Wednesday, you're good to go, and Thursday you're hungry again.
Yeah,
and that's always been something that I've tried to do, because Tuesday you can fuck yourself up, you know what I mean, and then you're goosed for the week.
So as your abs coming off the back of the Sunday squats, that's your primary squat session. It's the heaviest day of the week. Well, for you obviously because your deadlift is really small, but that's a joke. He deadlifts more than me sometimes.
Sometimes
when he can hold on to it.
Sometimes maybe.
Everybody's so mean about my deadlift. You know what? It's the worst thing. It's actually not the worst deadlift.
No, it's not. Listen,
you actually got a good deadlift.
Yeah, like
I was
actually fuck off. I've always had a good deadlift.
Held on to a good deadlift.
But you're known for your squats.
Yeah,
you're known for your squats and your potty mouth and dropping deadlifts. Those are the three things you're known for.
I know, and that's okay. I take the piss with it. You know what I mean? And it's the same. Like the amount of lads that talk to me, why do you keep picking all that music for when I'm walking out from my squat? I'm like, I don't fucking pick the music.
You'd go out to anything. Yeah, like genuinely, you'd lift in silence.
Yeah, but Jay picks that music and Jer picked that music. It's not me.
Yeah, it's Britney, bitch.
Yeah. But like the Pussycat Dolls there for my last deadlift at Abs Pro, I didn't even know that shit was playing. Like, and then I was just laughing. I just had to laugh about it. I was trying to get serious, be in the zone.
You just see you giggling.
But I think it's a good example as well for yourself, Jake, when given the level that you're at, the level of strength you're at, and how long you've been in this game, I think to see you come out and like that, come out for a final pull to the Pussycat Dolls or to Britney Spears and a 400 plus kilo squat, it's like you get a lot of these newer, younger lifters that come in to take it very, very serious, take themselves very seriously. And I admire that to a degree, but there has to be an element of one, we started off as a hobby. And two, sometimes, just letting the lift and flow and being able to just let go of all these minute details. Okay, I need the song to drop at this time. It needs to be this. This is what I need to listen to my headphones. There's a lot of that, and I think it's a lot more prominent now because we have a lot more younger people in the sport, which is great. But I think you're a good example for people, Jake, that it's like you can go out and enjoy it and just focus on letting the lift and flow a little bit.
It's only picking up a bar. You know what I
mean?
Literally. And look, don't get me wrong. I've had my time where I need a little bit of fucking ramp it up, but I've found through being angry and getting into it and hyped up, don't get me wrong, it has its benefits, especially on deadlifts. You know what I mean?
You can overdo it.
But you can overdo it. Like Jack, the big fucking...
Kenny?
Yeah, the big cunt.
Yeah.
Like
the City Gym lads.
Yeah, the City Gym lads.
The big back slaps.
He used to get fucking... Like, he'd be pulling 200 and he'd run fucking salts and all. I'm like, this lad's going to die. You know what I mean? He's sound. I love him. I think he's a fucking...
And it works for him.
Yeah, and it works for him. But by the time he gets around to his deadlift...
You're wrecked.
You're wrecked, man. And people forget this. Like, you only have about 5, at a push 6 max lifts in you on any one day. Mm-hmm. And they're going out trying to drop their fucking adrenal system on the opener. And I'm like... Go out and open. That's warm.
Dangerous. You got up to a 15-minute turnaround time before your name comes back around again. Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of time for you to cool off there.
And a lot of
it's very difficult to get amped back up.
And that even for myself, like I think I was a bit more hyped even for deadlifts, and I found when I do that I can nearly mess up my whole setup. The whole thing's out the door. Whereas even at nationals, I was like, okay, last deadlift, just get a bit more calm.
Yeah.
Do what you normally do.
Just be zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very cool, calm, and collected. To be fair, even
Not all the time. No, there has been times where I'm not.
Really, Emma? Never.
But
I mean, in competition.
yeah. Well,
But I think I can remember the only time I've noticed you get a little bit in your head in the comp day, it was in Cork. This is
God, that was my second comp.
63 kilo.
Yeah.
And I remember a time where you couldn't find your belt and you were pacing up
I
and down.
can't even remember that.
Oh, I remember it well. It was
God.
you had lost your belt and it just placed it down somewhere. I remember you going
God,
up
this
to
is
every
ridiculous.
second person, is that my belt? You were asking people who were wearing belts if it was your belt. It says my name on the inside. Is that my belt?
That's hilarious.
But you've come it's mad how far we've all come even since then. I mean, how long ago was that? I don't even know.
Well, I was actually thinking
6 or 7 years ago.
That's 2018.
yeah, because I remember the
2018 or
first
2017?
nationals.
2017, I'd say.
Jesus, man.
2018, because I think the first I remember you went to nationals with Tara. We were
Yeah,
all in the
yeah,
same
yeah,
class.
yeah.
Well, me and Tara.
Yeah, because I was handing Tara in the back with. That's why I was there, and you were going up and down. That was we had the navy yellow SPD
Yeah, yeah,
singlets.
Oh, God.
Killer B. Killer B had them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brona.
Yeah.
Brona.
Another great lifter that's dead. I mean, she's not dead, but she's just shite now.
I think she's
No, we need her
on the
back.
verge of potentially coming back.
Wow.
I'd love to see it.
That's Kim,
I would love
that's
to
Kim
see it.
Kardashian.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see her come back. I think it's it was one of the things at the USAPL. There was a rumor that she might be
I heard that,
coming
yeah.
back, and that was a good platform for her. But
If she
there's
does,
always the
man,
series.
I'd love to see it. I mean, she's done it so effortlessly.
She was one of my favorites
Yeah.
ever.
I mean, some of the coaching cues she got. I don't know who've done that to her, but I mean, she was effortlessly strong. That's what I.
ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, where would she be now?
Yeah. But she at the time, I think she medalled. I think she got gold medal at Euros.
Euros, yeah.
Ahead of Leah Bavois.
Yeah.
Who's now record
At
holder.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
no.
yourselves, kind of just around competitions like that, Emma, thinking of you all the way back in 2017,
Yeah,
2018, pacing around and panicking.
Yeah, God.
For yourselves, over that time in your careers, what are some of the is there a time that you can think of that was just really challenging, like a competition that when you look back now, you know how every comp we come into, we're like, this has to be the big one. And someone with experience is like, listen, it's not going to be your last.
Yeah.
Is there a time that you can think back to in a competition like that where you found you were really just in your own head and made such a big deal out of it, and it ended up, now we're all here and it worked out absolutely fine. But, to kind of maybe to people that don't have that much comp experience, have never been in high pressure situations, about, pressure you've put on yourself when it didn't matter. Have you ever had times like that?
I think my first international, I was like a deer in headlights.
An angry deer.
But I went in, I cut too much weight. Again, I was getting it was becoming too hard for me to cut down to 63. And I think I had a 3 p.m. weigh-in, so it was like a dried up prune by the time I had to weigh in. And by the time I was doing squats, again, I can't remember if it was my opener or my second. I think it was my second attempt. I think I was getting red lights, again, international refs, higher standard of reffing. And that just completely threw me. And by that point, I think I just ruined my whole day because I was just so focused on that and I let the whole thing derail my day. And I always say this to you, focus one lift at a time. Yeah. Doesn't matter about the next one, doesn't matter about the one before, just focus on each
one
lift
at a time.
Yeah.
Exactly, just stay in the game. It's you got a job to do coming up for the next one.
Yeah.
Just nail the job and then move on to the next thing. And if it doesn't go your way, you still got another job coming up.
Yeah.
And then I had a comp then years later where I was in the series. It was the only time I ever failed my opener, and I failed my opener in depth. And again, like that, I was like, doesn't matter, it's behind, focus on the next one.
Yeah.
Don't care about what I wanted to finish on, I have to just focus on the next squat.
Yeah, I think that's very, very important. What about yourself then, Jake? Have you had a comp like that where it's just been it was just in your head?
So 2020, when COVID hit, and because I was prepping into April for it, and then fucking everything fell apart, as we all remember. Yeah. And then August, there was a competition lined up, and I was aiming for a grand for that, that sort of way, and it just fell apart on me that day. I think I totaled 960, and it was a shit day for me, But I put all this pressure on, and then I was coming into November, the abs pro that was meant to be in November, late November, early December. Holy shit, that's 4 years ago today. Or this now, that's mad. But yeah, so basically we were supposed to be doing that, and I got it in the end, and it was the most disappointing thing in the world.
You got the 1,000 after.
Yeah, I
but
know.
then
we
it
got
meant
there.
more to you once you did.
Yeah,
Like,
but it didn't mean fuck all. It's such a disappointing thing. So this is what like so many people are so hyper focused on goals, and I see it. These young lads, I have to get that number. I'm like,
yeah.
man, all you're gonna do is make yourself miserable when you do.
Yeah.
You know. And I used to try and preach of set a goal that was so unrealistic that once you were keep chasing, you had something to keep chasing. You know.
Yeah.
Now we just get out and keep working.
Yeah, just see what comes to you.
Yeah. You know,
Just keep trying to chip away at it and getting better.
But I see it all the time, and these lads, young lads, and they upset themselves. Like they're talking about their total. Like, and I've done it, man. I fall into the trap every prep because lads come up, what are you going to total? And now
Whatever's there on the day.
Yeah, yeah. Now I try and just be whatever's there. And Jake, what are you doing today? I don't know.
But you get that even on a Sunday. Like, what's your squat? What are you going to do?
What are you squatting? What are you doing? And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you do. I'm like, well, but I don't.
I know a couple of warm-ups in where I know roughly where I'm landing.
I
a
know
few
what I
warm-ups in.
want.
Yeah.
But what Jay is going to let me do and what's there is maybe two different
And
animals.
that's a big thing for comp day. Like, there's a difference between what's there and what you want to be there.
Yeah.
You have to go with what's there. Like,
Yeah.
Time.
Especially on a comp day.
Yeah. Oh, like, I mean, I see it every single comp. That little Australian chick, I mean, what's her name?
at Dabs Pro.
Yeah.
Jen
something or
Jen
other.
Smith, yeah.
Jen Smith. Like,
Jen
I mean,
Smith, yeah.
she came out and she should have known on her warm-ups that she wasn't hitting 100 kilos.
This on the
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah. Right? I mean, she shouldn't have bombed. She shouldn't have bombed. Fucking should have known on her warm-ups that she wasn't going to hit 100 kilos. And I know she wants to blame whatever, and we all do, don't get me wrong. But, like, that's bollocks. You know. Just because I see it with lads and girls, they have these openers in their head. I'm just like, drop your opener 20 kilos.
No one cares about your opener.
No,
No one's going to remember your opener.
You're not Tom Martin. You're not winning on your opener.
Yeah.
And it was the same with Landry. I mean, she done the same with her squats. And no knock against either of the girls. They're fucking savages.
Yeah, they're serious lifters.
Like, I mean, absolutely incredible lifters. And it's not a knock against them. But they should know. And, I mean, you see people coming into abs. And tomorrow's going to be the same. I mean, lads dropping fucking mad weight, or lads do. And they're all going to come in, and they're going to see red light go up. And
no why, yeah.
I won't know why. And they look at you, and they start shouting at refs.
Yeah, like, I think the thing with the series that I like about it, I like that because it's dots based, you can get battles with people from different weight classes that you normally wouldn't get to. And I think when you want to play the dots game, my own approach to it has always been, if I'm going to cut weight coming in, then I'm going to lower the numbers that I think I'm going to get. I'm going to play off the dots game. And I think a lot of people think they're going to have the dots and the total.
The best ever total, and I've cut 10 kilos
Yeah,
weight.
whereas if you're going to play the dots game, you should expect the total less than your best, but that you're in a competition. So if you're using that strategy, I think a lot of people need to be
Smarter.
a lot
Manage their
smarter,
expectations,
manage their
yeah.
expectations, drop them openers down. You're not finishing on your best thirds. It's not happening, but you could for this body weight.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people lose sight of that, and I think that's when they end up, oh yeah, my prep went so well. I'm having the prep of my life. I cut, 7 kilos, 15 kilos, 10 days out. And now it's like, and then everything fell apart and I went 3 for 9 and,
Oh, I've seen it, man. We've all seen it. We've all borne witness to it. And it's a sad thing because you see them blaming this or they're blaming that, and there's no real self-reflection. I'm just like, lads, man,
you did it yourself.
you did it yourself.
But sometimes you need that lesson. You need that lesson to come back from it. But some people never learn it.
No.
Some people they just never learn it for whatever reason. But they keep coming back, and it's like, all right, look, that's your thing, cool, but it's not for me. Yeah. For me, I think it's very, very important to manage your expectations going in. While we're on the topic of challenging competitions, what about your most rewarding, Jake? Is surely, obviously, there's the 1,000 kilo. Is there anything else that stands out for you? Is that the pinnacle of your
No,
the highlight so far?
Do you know what? Coming back doing Abs Pro was brilliant.
The most recent one?
The most recent one.
That was my favourite comp of yours.
Yeah, you had a great comp.
Yeah, I had a great comp. It was my second ever 9 for 9 day. I loved it. And it was the lightest squat I've squat since fucking 2019, which was a bit mad, but it was just, the way it went.
We put it all together.
Put it all together on the day. And
The best I've seen you.
yeah, it was a 970 total. I was happy with that. I mean, look, it's not the best day, but, overall, I was happy. It was a great day. And then 3 weeks later, I flew out to America And a knee, just an arse clench away from getting that fucking 360.
I actually thought you had it.
Yeah. Well, that gave me the white light, but it was just and Jay and fucking Louis both said it to me. They were like, if you had been another lifter, we would have given it to you.
Yeah, they're nearly expecting it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things about being an abs lifter. If you have been refed by your teammates, you have to be judged a little bit harder. Your standard, and especially with me, because I've been abs for so long and I represented so much in everything I do, I have to be held nearly to a slightly higher standard.
Well, they know what a good Jake Brennan lift looks like, don't they? Do you know what I mean? They might not, when you're reffing somebody new for the first time and you're only familiar with them on Instagram or whatever you've heard, it's like, it looks good, but they know what a good lift for you is and what Jake's a millisecond away from dropping this.
Yeah, no, and that was it. And like, that was a great comp for me. And do you know what I found? I didn't train for basically 3 weeks before that competition, and Jay was going fucking mad. I squat 315, 310 the week before. I flew out the Sunday. I flew out, and I was shite. And
still showed up.
I still showed up. And then the next week I opened up on 315, and I finished on 365. And the lads were like, "You're a sandbagging cunt." I was like, I'm not sandbagging this. I'm just opening light. I opened up on a 170 bench and finished on 215.
But your bench was really easy, even in the abs pro. I thought.
But it was just, I was in so much pain. It took me the adrenaline just to get there. So I was just opening up super light,
Just get on the board.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to be down the line in terms of the pain when you're dealing with an injury like that.
Exactly. So I was just opening up 170. I know I can press that with one hand nearly.
Yeah.
And they were fucking, the Yanks were going mad at me, and I was just laughing. I was just out the back, man. It was great fun. That was a great. It
looked incredible. I definitely want to touch on it and kind of get into the experience of the first American Ab Series comp, and I think it needs a good bit of time. But what about for yourself, Emma? Like, what was your most rewarding competition? I mean, surely getting that first Éire singlet's up there, and
definitely. Like, I don't know if I can pinpoint a specific performance, and I'm like, okay, I'm most proud of that. But yeah, definitely getting the Éire
getting
singlet.
that cap.
Yeah.
And what was I know the first one you said it was kind of a tough experience, but in general, what's your experience been like competing internationally? What's that like for you?
Well, I think I learned a lot from that one.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, that's never going to happen to me again. And it hasn't, like, as in, I'd never let something like that faze me again. And even now, like, the jury has a way bigger influence. At those comps, jury weren't getting involved. Whereas now, like, you get one red light, you're gone.
Yeah. If you were going to give some takeaway advice to someone who's, really pushing hard to try and get that Éire singlet, get that first cap, for someone like that, what would you tell them? What's something that you would tell them to do? How would you tell them to approach their first international competition? Because they're obviously a very high level lifter for the most part to have gotten that cap. But when you see them, it's like watching a brand new lifter all over again. I've coached at them, and you see it's like looking at a new lifter. What's something that you would tell someone to do in that experience?
Don't be going in to aim like, I'm going to hit a 20 kilo PB and I'm going to, take all these records and I'm going to get a medal. If you do, great, but I wouldn't be aiming for that.
Yeah, I think anytime I've been at the international comps, I've just told people, like, go out, put together your best day and enjoy the experience. Yeah. Like, you've got your 9 minutes on the platform, like, try to remember it.
And it's a big honor to be there,
Yeah, and I think it's also important to remember that you're there to represent Team Éire. You're not there to represent you, to represent your coach. You're there to represent our flag and our singlet, and it's important not to be like, your goals matter, but how you represent us matters a lot more in that moment. And it's the coach's job to put together your best day for you, or if you're in a podium position for any of the single lifts or anything, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to get the most points for the team, and I think it's important for a lot of new lifters when they get that singlet for the first time. It's like
a team.
It's a team. You're there to represent the team. You're there to represent the country
and yourself.
And it's important that you represent yourself well and you represent the country well.
And there is a difference, like, even with the standards. Like, I know, again, like, I think Sean Crow, I remember saying it years ago, like, you can get 3 white lights at nationals and then you go abroad, it's a different story. Like, it's strict standards.
Very, very strict standards.
So that's just something, manage that, be aware of your depth, tick every box, make sure you're
keep your
training
standards
to standards.
Keep your standards high and your squats low.
Yeah.
I like that,
And in terms of, like, coming in, Jake, you had said there about, like, you've had quite a few niggles. And have you ever had any serious injuries? I know you've had quite a few, like,
no real
things that have bothered you over time. How do you kind of deal with those?
Cry.
whinging all the time.
No,
Straight on the
you've
Instagram.
had a few setbacks, but you always bounce back from them.
I've had a few knocks. Like, I mean, at the moment, I've something going on with my shoulder, something going on with my knee, and that's coming out of my hip, though. But look, it's,
Part of it.
it's part and parcel of the sport. I mean, I'm 10 years in it. I'm 37 now. Like, you know, you take a knock and you're putting serious poundage through the body, you know, that sort of way. You know, like I've said this a few times now, I've 3 or 4 more big runs left in me, you know. If I can get a hold of this and so that I can start pressing again. I'm not worried about being away from the game for a month or 2 or 3. A lot of people forget, like, I mean, this is 10 years built. Like, I can take, I'm still training, but like, one of the things is, there was a lifter that said it, and it was actually really good. Yeah, I've got the building built now. You know what I mean? It's not like I have to go and put new floors on that.
Foundations,
yeah. So all I have to do is refurb those floors, and they're you know what I mean? That's all it is. Your strength comes back incredibly fast. But one thing I have noticed though in the last few months is my nervous system. I sort of shake a little bit more. That's probably because I'm getting older.
Potentially. I feel it, man.
Parkinson's.
I'm feeling it, man.
Fuck you, Emma.
We're about the same age.
Parkinson's, yeah.
No, I can't say that.
I'd
The
be
two of
like
us have the same
Michael
with
J.
brain.
Fox now.
And when you guys are going through these kind of like rough patches in your training or rough patches of competition, like what is it that you guys do to stay motivated? Because you're both at the top of your games still looking to make progress, still looking to get better. How is it that, you know, what kind of strategy do you have there in place that you stay motivated? Is it just something instilled in you as an individual, or do you have to really work at maintaining that motivation? I know motivation is fleeting, right? It's about discipline. But what is it that keeps you going through that time, you know, without just throwing in the towel? How do you just keep coming back hungrier than before?
For me, it's the crew. Like, as in, it's part of like my routine. It's like, I think if I was training on my own, I'd probably be long gone by now.
It'll be easier. It's easier to give up.
Whereas, like, you know, you don't come in for a few days, there's nearly a missing poster. Whereas Jake Brennan, like, you get slagged. Like, and it's like you go in, you know, it's not exciting to come in and squat 3x8 high bar, 100 kilos or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're going in, you're seeing your mates, you're having a bit of crack.
Yeah, it's the banter.
Yeah, like, so, and then it becomes part of your routine.
That's the important thing. It is very, very important, especially in this game, to have a crew around you.
Yeah, would you see it with the poppies though, man? You know what I mean? The pop cultures. Like, these little tossers, they're coming in now and they'll quit before their 3 years are up. Yeah. And, you know, or they're juniors and they're going to take this national title and this national title.
And then they lose their identity when they're gone.
Yeah, man. This idea of records, I hate the idea of a junior record, or like, some cunt's done that fucking half your size. Who cares? You know what I mean? I hate the idea of all these record chasers, and most of them quit the sport within 3 years.
Yeah, you see it a lot.
Burnout.
And I think a lot of that is because they're not with crews. You know what I mean? They're not around boys, and you know what I mean? They're not around.
No one older around them, no one experienced around them to kind of guide them through, and, you know, be a mentor of sorts for them to really keep them on the straight and narrow, knowing how to direct themselves. They're kind of figure it out on their own. And
and you know, it is a burnout sport though. Like, I mean, it is very easy to burn out because it's fucking boring. Yeah, you got to be proper autistic, like.
Yeah, no,
and back to your point, even about the, you know, this, like, doing the comp specific stuff year round, like, that can be boring. But again, like, you can make things a bit more exciting. Like, you can throw in different accessories, you can throw in some different variation, like, there's stuff like that. Again.
Yeah, you can go just novel stimulus. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm programming, someone's like, "What's that there for?" For fun. Yeah. It's like it's just there for novelty. You're not going to go backwards. It's going to keep you going. It's like, you want to throw some chains on it? Yeah. What are the benefits? It's fun. It's a novel stimulus. There are some benefits. They're not there for. I'm not going to give you some nuanced scientific breakdown as to why it's there. It's there for you to enjoy it. It looks cool. Go and have some fun with it. I think having fun with your training matters, and that's one of the things I like about variations. And, you know, you can change out these little things block to block that are still keeping you ticking away, keeping the needle moving, but, you know, it allows for that novel stimulus, a bit of novelty in your training. I think it's very, very important to keep it fresh.
Ego gets fed a little bit.
Oh yeah,
man. This is another thing. I think ego gets, and we all have it. And everybody says, check your ego at the door." Man, your ego. If you're not feeding your ego a little bit with some form of a PB at least once a month, it's. I mean, I wasn't wearing that. put my left shoe on my right foot today. That's a PB deadlift on that one. Do you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? Like, but it's anything just to get that
Close grip, feet up.
Yeah. That the little win because man, they're few and far.
They are few and far between.
And the
right?
longer you're in the sport, like I mean, I remember Emma's first 200 kilo deadlift. That was it March or April 20?
That was on a deadlift bar.
Yeah, I know, but it was 2019.
Yeah.
Right. The first ab series, and I mean, you look at the amount of work and tonnage that she's put through, and it's not to say her deadlift has only got that far, but like.
My squat's also gone up.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
you have to manage that.
Yeah, like this is what I'm getting at. Like your squat, you might only pull 215 now, but your squats jumped 30 kilos. Your bench has jumped, I don't know, like 90.
Yeah.
You had the shitest bench.
Look at me now. Last
Your
day's
little
bench.
noodle arms, really fucking. But no, they were tiny.
We need to touch on that actually. I got bullied with my bench.
As
Remember?
you
That was
should.
bad.
More
bit of
people
bullying
should
is
bully you.
good
Jay, every time I come out to bench, Jay be like, world record bench holder coming out here. Benching 50 kilos.
Yeah, man. But that's it. Like, and so those things, you know, like people will go look at the deadlift and go, oh, well, it's only added, or you've only put, but I've also added all of this, and I've also done all of this. So I think a lot of people sort of
Would give up by now.
they give
Yeah,
up
they do.
because the grind is fucking hard, man. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people, if they're not winning, especially if you get a taste of success early on,
Yep.
it's a curse. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
A lot of people get an early taste of success, and the wins just don't keep coming. They just don't. It's like you got to work really hard. If you get an early taste of success because you were lucky that the weight class wasn't super competitive, or you
You
just
just
happened to
exploded really quickly.
you exploded quickly, and then you're not used to it slowing down.
Yep.
It's like especially when you're new to it, when you're young in the game. It's kind of like you think it's always going to be like this.
It's like back to your point saying like, oh, I'm only going to hit 20 kilo PB. Like, I'm delighted
Do
with
that
20
3
kilo
times a
PB.
year.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
really happy with 2.5 kilo PB.
listen, when you become, I think the thing is for people that, especially people that climb the ranks quite quickly, they need to learn how to compete.
Yeah.
That should be their main goal. Learn how to compete. Like the PBs will come, but worry less about those. Learn how to compete and learning how to actually build a total comp to comp. It's
hard.
And some people they can't. And again, like you were saying a minute ago, it's like when your deadlift might take off in one prep,
Yep.
and then for 6 months it might go nowhere, but your squat's gone up, and people don't always factor that. They don't always take that into consideration. It's like this is a game of total. If you want to like have your deadlift continue going up, sure, sandbag the squat for a few months, and your deadlift might climb again. But that's not how the game works. It's about building the total. It's like your body has to acclimate to the amount of intensity and the amount of volume it's going to start taking on when they lift PBs, especially people when they transition to wraps, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, big time.
It's like, well, it's a deadlift bar, so I'm expecting a PB. Listen, if you can put 20, 25 kgs in your squat and match your best deadlift on the deadlift bar, you're having a good day.
Yeah.
Like, don't you know, you got to manage those expectations in the wraps.
People don't understand the kind of nervous system damage that it does wearing those wraps.
Wraps exhaust you. Like,
Yeah.
Even the stress of putting them on alone for some people, especially the first time you see them, they're sweating, their heart rate is increased.
Yeah, that was like my first time too.
Rumor has it, it's every time.
But no. No, but like for real though, man, this is, and the other thing of this is they talk about everybody talking about the deadlift bar. I'm like, lads, most of you aren't even pulling heavy enough to bend the bar.
Yeah, like you don't know how to use it yet.
Yeah, don't stress it. You know what I mean?
It's just a deadlift.
Just deadlift. Just deadlift. Like, yeah, but you gotta flex. Man, you're pulling 150. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
It's
that's
not
not
heavy enough
pushing
for you to
it.
get anything out of it.
Yeah. You know, it's always, I find that so funny. Oh, but the bar's too skinny, or the bar's this, or, you know, just set up and pull. You know, I think that's a lot of people, a lot of it, now we were only speaking about it, a lot of people think too much about the nuances of things instead of just getting in and being a bit of a man.
being a bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, just go and just bro it out.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely a lot to be said for that. I think, look, have your discipline and make sure that you're training to a high standard, but you can just go in and just lift some weights.
Yeah. And have some fun.
Doesn't have to be like on a combo rack, or just because you're competing on an Alico doesn't mean you need to travel half the length of the
One
country.
of the worst I saw last week was there was a guy and he was going across the room. Did you hear about the story?
No.
So he's going back and forth across the room, and I was going, why are you, there's plates there. And he's like, no, I can't lift on the Titex. Has to be Alico. All Alico being across the room. And I was like,
I know who that was.
Why? Like,
Brother Bello.
no, what's for
Was not. That
No,
little,
we're naming and shaming out here.
lanky little
No.
cunt, man.
But
He
why?
fucking
Like,
wanders up and
but-
down to
but
get
you know
those.
what I mean?
Who
Like,
was
you
it,
have-
Emma?
this what we're-
Spill the
this is
fucking
what
tea.
we're dealing with. Like,
Who
you know.
was it?
I actually don't know. his
Who
name.
fucking was it? Because it was probably that fucking lanky cunt. Him and his fucking dipping at the top
Well, you know,
of his
like,
deadlifts.
but when I started out training, again, like when I was in Raw, I wasn't on any comp specific stuff.
No, exactly. You
You
know,
know-
what I mean? Now, I love it because, I mean, I can't fit into a normal rack in a normal gym for fucking squats because my epoxy shoulder mobility is shy. But, like...
But I've seen you do like your secondary bench.
Oh, yeah, I
you
can
know.
train in a normal gym for that
Yeah,
stuff, yeah. You know what I mean? But, no, this idea of needing Eleco plates, I couldn't give a shit. I only look skill for squats.
I think people nowadays that are coming new into the sport don't realize just how far it's come and how lucky they are. The training facilities that are around the country now, where we can host comps and everyone has, you know, access to comp specific high quality equipment.
Yeah.
Offer warm-ups and everything else.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
you go back 7, 8, 9, 10, maximum 10 years ago, but I mean, not even as far back as that. It was power racks and bumper plates and monoprums.
Yep.
I'd finish work. I remember I'd finish work and it'd be like a race to get to the rack because there'd be one rack and it, you know, you'd work off, you know, like a rig so you couldn't
Yeah,
adjust
you
the
can't
heights.
adjust the heights. Yeah,
And like a powerlifter would go there and it's like they're parked there, they're there for 3 hours. So if you don't get the rack,
that's it.
kinda
You're not
gone,
using
like-
it. Yeah.
you know, that was the reality
Yeah,
every day.
no, I know, it's
Whereas,
misery.
like, you go in now to abs and it's like, you know, everybody can work in and, you know,
Well, one thing as well that Jay sort of enforces or tries to is like if there's 3 girls benching or 3 guys benching and it's all similar weight, but they're all using different benches, it's just like
oh, he hates that, yeah.
squeeze together.
Yeah, it drives me mad as well. I get a bit of that. I can come into the. there
Did
might be
you have
days I
like
can come
24 fucking benches down there?
Yeah, no, we've got the best powerlifting gym in the country.
No,
We
like
have to go
the
see this
most
now, yeah.
well equipped.
Yeah, it's the best gym. I said.
Oh yeah, just the shittest lifters.
No, I definitely have to shit us if we're not city gym.
Oh yeah, shitty gym. Them and their pauses.
I mean, they're
That's
light
gonna
speed,
stop pauses.
light speed pauses.
What?
Oh, he's going to pause.
Come on, fucking hell.
They see, like you said, you got to take the little
fucking
wins.
Murray is as well, like and
She's abs now.
I know, yeah, but she's still got terrible pauses.
They're
I know.
improving. She's improving. Shout out to Kim. She's improved a lot.
No,
She's
she
working
has,
hard
and
on it,
she's
she's
sound
like-
as well.
She is. Yeah, she's still abs. She represents both.
Yeah.
I'm a proud abs affiliate.
Right.
Until Jay does something stupid. And I'm never. Judge. I've never met this man in my life. Yeah, I think it is one of those things that people don't realize just how lucky they have it these days. And it's great to see where it's come, but it's like also you can relax still. Just enjoy the lifting. You can go on holidays and actually still do a little bit of training. You don't have to like.
Get
I
it.
like hunting down gyms,
Yeah.
but it's
I'm the
my
same way.
hobby.
Yeah.
I like hunting down good
Yeah,
gyms. But
that's cool.
if I can't find one, I'm still gonna
Still gonna
train.
train, yeah.
I'm not gonna be like can't train. Don't have
Lads,
to.
you're in the middle of your off season, right? Or whatever fucking season, you know what I mean?
Shift some tin.
Yeah. Or don't. If you're going away for 5 days,
It's okay if you want
Yeah,
just
and
to
there's
choice,
a week, and there's a hotel gym.
Yeah.
Go downstairs and do a fucking bicep curl every morning.
Yeah, catch a pump, go to the
Yeah.
beach,
Yeah.
get a beer.
Here, baby. You know what I mean? That's
Have a
all
good
that
time.
matters.
Have a good time. I want to touch on a little bit the kind of the strength community in Ireland in general, and just kind of get your guys' perspectives on it. Just in terms of how like the Irish strength sports scene has grown over the recent years, like it has come a long way. You know, you can see like that gyms are far more equipped. There's a lot more crossover that we can see now, especially between the strongman world and powerlifting world. It seems to be a lot more crossover there now. Emma, yourself coming from weightlifting, you know, what's your guys' perspective on just the growth of the scene? What do you think has kind of led to this surge of an influx of people coming into it?
I don't know. But like even like if you compare Glasnevin to now,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Well,
like a
60
different beast.
lifters to 200 plus.
Like and like 9 a.m. is like a different beast. Like
I
you
know.
know, there would have been like 15, 20 people max.
Yeah.
Now it's
Now it's
however
fucking...
many. Like
Yeah, it's like the old 11 a.m.
yeah, like
For
so
It's massive. It's
yeah,
grown massive.
everything.
Do we think that's all down to things like social media? Do we think it's just
Oh, big time.
social media, like just the visibility of the sport in general?
man. And that's it. Once you know yourself, like you like anything on Instagram, next second it's getting fed into you. You know what I mean? And gym culture has become so massive now, like for everybody. Now most of them don't do fuck all. They just look like nails bent over on their phone. But
It's true.
I hate it, man. You have to go up and tell lads to get off of fucking machines You know what I mean?
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
sitting
like
there
literally
twiddling their
people
thumbs on
watching
leg
a
extensions.
Series, like, yeah.
I have no issue telling lads to fuck off, you know. But or yeah, listen, I'm working in with you.
Yeah.
But like, it is the gym culture. Like I train in Rush, in Aki's, in NC Fitness, and I love it, man. It's it's a small little gym. It has everything that you need, but like, he lets lads in 13 years of age or 14.
Yeah, it's age.
Yeah, and so school closes, the kids come and do that now, and so once they show any sort of fucking aptitude to it, and then they find strength, and then all of a sudden there's powerlifting. Oh, what the fuck on? Now there's ab series, and once the ab series change kicked off, I think that really opened the floodgates for lads coming to the sport. I mean, what's that little fucker's name? We were talking about him, Declan Fogarty's son.
Declan Fogarty's son is Little Fogarty.
I don't know, the mini
Mini Fogarty.
Well, I love that little kid, man. He's bang on. You know what I mean? I actually have a great time for him. He always comes up when he comes up to abs, and he's a great little lifter.
He's a lovely kid too. I've met him a couple times. He's a sound kid.
I can't believe I forgot his name.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I'm kind of red. You shouldn't have even asked. You just been like Declan Fogarty's son, and we could have just run with that.
Oh yeah.
But like when I was starting out, like there wasn't people 13 years of age in gym
No, there
training,
wasn't.
you know. So that in
Yeah.
itself,
I think the culture of powerlifting itself is quite enticing for people.
It's very contagious,
Yeah.
you know, and because it's like it's the bros, and I think people are trying to get away. I know there's some pussies in the sport, but and the day dems, but I think people are trying to lean away from that, and they're finding solace and and homes with like-minded folks who are, and it's not necessarily they're right or left, but they're just more. We're in the gym. Nothing matters but lifting weights and broing out together.
Exactly. We all share that one common interest that can bring a whole diverse group of people together. You could have a melting pot of people that all share that one interest. And now we all have a lot of things to talk about and in common. You know, we all can talk about different technique things or things that we like in it or how comps went. You know, we've all got these nuanced things that we all share in common.
Yeah.
I think that's been massive for the growth of it. I think social media has been a blessing and a curse within itself.
Absolutely.
I mean, in terms of like without it, we wouldn't have things like this. We wouldn't
Yeah,
have,
of
you know, competitions wouldn't have the visibility that they have.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't get televised.
No, they don't.
but even if you go back to like again 2018, like Cork Open,
Yeah.
they weren't doing like Ken wasn't recording videos, like, you know,
No.
there wasn't people doing pictures, you know, so like all that has like seriously,
People getting a job out of it.
yeah.
Like,
So
I remember the first, you'll probably remember as well, the first like podcast and media that came in was No Lift Powerlifting. You remember that?
yeah, I
Oh,
do
yeah.
remember
Arthur
that. Yeah,
Lynch and
yeah.
was it Adam Keane
And Arthur.
and Arthur?
Yeah,
and
I done that with him
Did
on,
you?
during
Oh God, that's how long you're doing the podcast then.
yeah, yes.
during lockdown. I was living in Killian's gaff in fucking in the middle of town. Jesus Christ, yeah, on the fucking thing, on the computer, me.
But they did do a few. I think they did. I think maybe Mark Stell did Mark Stell do the first kind of videos?
Yeah,
He did his own for a bit. It was like Stell Media or something like that, and then he became part of White Lights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I think-
I remember then Ken, I think, recorded. I think first few pictures I have are from Ken.
Yeah,
Ken done the pictures, and then
Yeah.
Stell
Stell
came
did the
in,
videos.
and he was doing videos. He was doing videos
And-
for Jay of the gym, and then all of a sudden it kind of he was recording
Took
videos
off, yeah.
of the lifting and stuff like that, and that just I'll just fucking
Yeah.
give this a crack. And once he started selling packages, I mean, he was doing them for 50 quid a pop. What are they
Yeah.
charging now? Like 200?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
I think they're valuable. I think it's good that everyone's able to get a job out of it.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
everyone's able
100%,
to make a few quid, and it's I think it's the kind of like sport that it kind of feeds itself.
Yeah.
It's so internal that it manages like it's this loop of people being able to feed it. You've got a comp, you've got media packages.
It's a whole
you've got-
little economy in itself.
yeah, it's got its own little economy. I think it's fantastic to see it. I mean, we all benefit from it in some way. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
man.
Whether it's just being able to partake within it, or being able to run some sort of business out of it. We're all very blessed to have it there. For yourselves, like with these new lifters coming in and kind of the new generation, that next wave that's going to come through, how important do you think that community that we have, the cultures we have, and how can we mentor those younger athletes coming in? Emma, I put it to you especially. You're the junior team manager.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I should have said that. I should have said that in my intro. Oh.
Oh, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
she's
Oh,
manager of the
lads,
junior
lads.
team.
Be careful, don't piss her off. Trevor will get you.
how important is that to have that mentorship there for younger athletes coming into the sport? I think it's very important that they're in club environments. It's an individual sport, but it requires
Yeah.
a club. What's kind of your perspective on that and being able to provide that for younger athletes?
Well, like back to the point again about burnout. Like I think, is there any how many young lifters have we seen like that have started at 16 years of age and are still doing it? They all drop off.
They all.
And I have to say, like Andrew Rowe, I remember him in Glasnevin coming in. Like he's still doing the thing. Like
was it Andrew Rowe?
He was hyping everyone up. Like I love that.
So
I love that.
So he was in behind you screaming and yeah, and Jay had to walk up. He put his hands. We don't do that here. It was like that fucking Black Panther. We don't do that here.
But like you know what I mean. Like and it makes you feel old. But like he was being a sub junior back then, and now he's just finished his junior career, and he's still doing the thing. So he's going into the open, and I don't think he's going to drop off anytime soon. Again, he has a good community around him, so I think having a good, solid crew around you
helps. Yeah, massively, man, massively. And also when you do pull away, which a lot of lifters do. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I mean, Emma's probably one of the truest that stayed the course in the sense of not taking time away. That I've seen in abs. Yeah, but I mean, she's too autistic, like you know what I mean. but it's
people do have them.
And I mean, even Nolly, Louise, all myself included. But the gym pulls you back.
Yeah,
but there's no way like you could just drop off the radar and
Yeah, I mean, Joe the Beard. It took when Joe the Beard left. I mean, it knocked the club for ages, and then one day someone was like, "Who's Joe the Beard?" Yeah, and it was just like, that was weird.
Yeah. What did happen with Joe?
Club got too young. He was, in my opinion, that's what I think happened to Joe. He has his gym. He's working out in Balbriggan as a mentor or as a teacher, and he has a gym there that he built himself. Basically, he has an ER rack. He has plates, and the club. Every time he came to the club, it was younger and younger.
And he wouldn't know what it's like now then.
Yeah, I mean, and it killed him because he's around kids all the time. Anyways, it's 12 to fucking because he was teaching
12 to 18-year-olds.
Yeah,
secondary school. Yeah.
Then coming into the gym and it's like kids again,
like being at work.
Yeah,
okay, I get it.
I think that's what happened to him. But he still lives. I mean, I still reach out to him the odd time, like he's doing grand. I mean, hopefully he shows up tomorrow for his kind of fizzy orange.
Yeah.
There's always a kind of fizzy orange for the little fucker.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Joe. I mean, Joe was that guy. I mean, you've kind of taken his spot as the back spotter.
Yeah.
You've filled those shoes. I think a lot of people that I know, especially from my own club and a lot of my own lifters, they feel better when you're there. You kind of do this. They'll all mimic you. They'll kind of go, I spot like Jake, and he'll do the. You'll talk them through. You take that breath in. You kind of talk them through. You're bracing with them. You're almost like cueing them as you're going. I think that's like such a cool thing for them to be able to experience as well. Believe it or not, I don't know why this happens, but a lot of people look up to you, which is the most bizarre thing.
Why?
But
I'm sure.
I guess a lot of them don't know you, Jake.
I know. Fuck you.
But like it's good encouragement as well. You know when someone like is just encouraging you to stand behind you. Like I remember Maria T did an abs pro years back, and she said that like she didn't know who Joe the Beard was, but it was like that changed my lift for me. Like just having someone behind you believing you. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same, and like as much as like I love Sunday morning training, but like I mean, there's be days I'd be fucking squatting whatever I am, and all of a sudden you get a fucking, will you come and spot me?
Yeah, and that's me.
And that's you, and all of the girls, and you know what I mean, and the lads, and I've no problem doing it. I think it's a bit of an honor, you know what I mean, that. They're going for their top squat, so
it means a lot for them.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, because like the reality is like, if I fail to squat, like the girls are going to catch it. I'm not going to die.
Yeah, but
you have someone that you're like, hey, he's going to give me a bit of confidence.
The internal fucking, I can send this 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having people that you can trust behind you and people that are encouraging and shouting, especially for newer lifters, is just kind of like anytime I get to walk out, and I know that, for me, the squat is a lift that I've had to put an awful lot of effort into. I haven't got much return for it, but once I started breaking over the 300 barrier, for me, that.
Did you?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
Oh, 312.5, bro. Yeah, you were there. You were right behind me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how underwhelming it was. I thought I did great, but whatever.
You should have done 700 pounds, you pussy.
You only get 3 lifts.
Next year.
Next time. I'll come back in April next year. I'll put on another comp, and hopefully Nolly comes back and I get to...
It would be great to see, man. I
love sharing it with Nolly.
It's always good when there's a good fucking crew. Like the what are they, D2 division now at the moment. They're all got this hype going.
Oh, D1. That's taken over the whole comp. If I'm being
It has,
honest.
yeah. I mean, that's. I think D1 is the star of Series 19 this year.
For sure,
Oh,
man.
I'm more hyped for watching that.
Yeah. All the bros.
And I think the Pro-Am is going to be good, but I think it's probably, for me anyway, and I don't know if anyone will necessarily disagree with it, but I think it's kind of the flattest one. You know, I definitely, as a lifter, I definitely was not
sold on it.
I wasn't sold on it. I was doing it because Noli was doing it, and I was looking forward to another battle with Noli. And I think for me, when it was like came down to when push came to shove, and I wasn't able to commit as much to training, it was like, I think if Noli had been doing it, I still would have done it in sleeves.
Yeah,
because I just didn't have the time to get into reps and have someone pull a mono because of the times I was able to train at, and which was good because I was busy with work. But if Noli had been doing it, I definitely would have done it. But I feel like this one is. I mean, no disrespect to anyone that's in it. It just wasn't an enticing one to be in. The last time I got to go head to head with Mason, and
none of them are talking shit, man.
No.
You need one or two lads just to talk enough shit to entice the others out.
Who know each other as well. It's important that there's a bit of history there to go back and forth. Otherwise, it all feels very manufactured.
Yeah.
I think, D1 this year has been enormous. But while we're on competitions, right, I want to touch a little bit on volunteers, reffing, and people just,
not doing it.
Just not paying it forward.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, it kind of drives me wild a little bit. I think when you end up, if you look at the platform of, 50% of the platform is high level, international level lifters.
But it's always the same people.
Always the same faces. What is it about it that we just can't seem to, why is that always the struggle to get a volunteer on the platform or people to come in forward for reffing? Are we not providing enough opportunities for it? Or is it just that people,
they don't want
the culture just isn't there?
Well, I mean, it's a greedy sport in some ways. It never used to be. It's become a greedy sport. And it's all about me, I mean, I've gone and use a little test of this. Like I've competed and then come back the next day to spot and load.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've done the same. Yeah,
and yourselves have done it, and I mean I'm not tooting my own horn when I say it is, but I kind of, and that's me trying to lead by example for the younger lifters. But so many of them don't, and don't get me wrong, I know some girls I don't feel brave enough to do. Like if you
do the top table,
do the top table, do
the shop,
do the shop, do the cleaning, or even something that helps. Actually, fucking stand there and shout the numbers, or
the rack heights,
and do the rack
heights, do the rack in,
and the chips, man. Do you know how fucking annoying it is to have them ready? Like,
there's a place for everybody.
Everybody. I think everybody does, and it's one of the things I should encourage back home is just to, if there's a comp coming up, and I know that we can get people into spot and load, we'll run like a spot and loading crew day inside to get everybody comfortable with it. We'll put everything up on the screen and be like, all right, this is how we get the numbers on the bar. This is what you're going to see. I think a platform manager is especially important. Just that asshole shouting and screaming at people and letting them.
What are you trying to say?
I'm your guy.
I'm your guy.
I learned how to do it from you. I was like, give him a bollocking.
Oh, this is it, man.
It's got to be fast, right?
It's got to be fast. And here's the other side of it. You're putting people's bodies on risk, on the line, including your own. Yeah. Like, I mean, that dickhead that fucking dumped the bar on me, the 430 fucking, what was his name? A Clash there. Like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Polish guy.
Yeah. He came out and he apologised to me afterwards. To be honest, I was not in the mood to hear it. I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But like, I mean, I had him by the chest. The bar was and he just let go and ran.
Of it. Yeah.
Now, fair enough, he said his quad popped. I don't know. The fucker was out squatting the next week. But
I've had a comp where there was a guy that did that, and he did that on his opener, did it again in a second. And I was like, you do that again your third, you're not going to have anyone dare to spot you.
He should have been dumped off after the second.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we were doing in City Gym, and there was a lifter. Now, she's gone and represented the country. I won't say. But she just let go of the bar, walked out from underneath it, and went out and shook the hands of the refs and just left. And I remember standing there with the bar. I was just like, this is fucking mad.
Like the amount of people that could get seriously injured. It could be 100 on the bar, and everyone on that platform could get seriously hurt.
Grandma's toes are still fucked from 100 kilos.
70.
It's hard to text. You're lucky it was only 70.
Yeah. She was only 63 at the time.
Everyone thinks it was my top single. It was 70 kilos.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it.
If you dropped your bench on it, you'd have been all right. But do you think, is there something that like can be done, say, from either a federation, an organization like the AB Series, or just the clubs, the larger clubs? Do you think that there's an initiative that can be taken there to help get more people actively involved in it like that? Is it nerves? Should there be kind of like a combination of people that say, right, we're actually going to hold a couple of like workshops on this over the next few weeks and advertise it in advance? You know, is there something that we can do to make people better? I think it's going to need initiative rather than just being like, fucking assholes won't do anything. What can we do to make it better?
Honestly, I think it has to be pushed forward, kind of like the comps were pushed forward. You have to push, not charge or anything to teach them. I think free classes put on.
Yeah.
Free fucking, come and train in abs and learn how to spot and load. You know what I mean? Like, we'll run a seminar for our Saturday every 2-3 times a year, you know what I mean? And actually get a load of lads up and do it properly.
But you know, that's why Jay is so anal about the loading of plates in training. It's not just because
because OCD, because powerlifting.
Yeah, it's actually, if you don't get that right, you're going to misload the bar for Jake, and then he's going to squat the wrong weights.
Yeah, like which we've been there when they loaded a fucking grand on me.
And like, he was educating some guy last week, you know, and some guy was loading at arseways, and he was like, "There's a reason we do this."
Yeah.
So you can go in, you can slot into spotting and loading, and you know what you're doing.
Yeah, we practice like we play, because we expect everybody to get involved some way as a volunteer, especially if you're in a club. I expect everyone to get involved in some way in my club.
Yeah, the numbers of abs lifters and the number of abs volunteers, there's too much of a disparity, like in my opinion, you know what I mean? And because when I'm catching cunts, hopefully not too many because I'm fucking wrecked. But like tomorrow, if whatever happens, I know that it'll be maybe 75% of the same lads that were with me the last time.
Yeah.
And that's only because fucking Ryan's not here, he's away, and fucking...
It's always the same crew.
Yeah, it's always the same crew.
Same refs, same, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reffing one is obviously a bit trickier because...
Well, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, they do nothing.
I think that's for federations, and
But
Jay's taking.
fucking usually give
But Jay's also taken some initiative to start an AB series referees exam, which is good, right? So there's going to be that, and I think I know from speaking to Ali after nationals, they're going to be actively pursuing to try and get more referees brought in. I think a good take point from this would be, especially around IrishPF nationals, right? My view on it would be that there is an opportunity for everyone to be involved, whether if you're not at the races to be getting into nationals just yet. That doesn't mean that you can't be involved at nationals. No. There is a place for everyone there, and not everyone's going to be a top tier lifter, but you can make a big difference in the sport, and you can be relied upon, and you can actually be a mainstay around it. There's nothing stopping you from coming on to be the best referee. Lots of people would appreciate that. I know that IrishPF Nationals would have benefited hugely from a jury.
Oh yeah.
Hugely.
The previous year I thought ran really well with the jury.
Agreed.
And I think that was one of the
I think the jury, when you look at it, obviously woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? But if a jury had been there, I think we could have looked at a very different mix up at nationals this year.
Yeah.
Which shows the importance of it. It's like, I think there was a lot of things there that could have changed the dynamics of a lot of podiums and weight classes just by having a jury there. So I think it's important that there's definitely some initiative shown on it. I tell you what, if Jake, would you be willing to get involved in a workshop?
Absolutely, anytime, any place.
Fine, I'll tell you, I'll hold it.
Oh, listen, you host it, I'll come down.
Done. January. You coming?
Yeah.
Emma, you down?
Yeah.
I'll come down.
But you know, even like in training though,
no problem.
My biggest ick is, do you ever see people spotting people and then they do this? Like, I can't cope with that. No, I hate that. Like, you're not going to save someone.
No, I know,
you wouldn't back spot. Like, would you like if someone back spot you 400 kilos squatting like that?
No, get away from me.
Like,
I'd
rather just miss my depth on a video and you don't mess up catching me.
Yeah, well, so many people do some mad shit out there. Like, it is dreadful, the kind of skill sets that I've seen on that fucking spotting and loading.
Listen, it's very rare when you look at the international PF comps.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be squatting.
Oh, and no. Like this.
I mean, there should be teams hired and paid.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I've spoken to Jay. I think we've spoken about this before as well.
Send a crew.
Yeah, like pay for a cruise.
Yeah, just get a crew.
You know, I mean, pay for a crew, and genuinely, where they're out there all day. Okay, yeah, it's a taxing fucking day. Pay them well. Put them up for the weekend. Fly them out. Like I know Jer is on your man, the cowboy from America, the back spotter.
Yeah.
All right. Now, don't get me wrong. If he was up on my arse like that, I swear to God, I'd end up pushing back. But no, I wouldn't. He's not that good looking. The Voodoo King is a good looking dude. No, but genuinely, I couldn't stand it myself. It would piss me, especially
I'd hate that.
I'd hate it. And then there's fucking the airboxing and all. But he is reliable.
Yeah.
He shows up. He has everybody's back. I mean,
They love it.
They love it. I mean, there's lots of pluses to his minuses. Don't get me wrong. It wouldn't be for me.
Yes,
I have a tendency to step just back out on a deadlift. You know what I mean? Let them do their thing. And then when the moment, especially with the likes of Dave or whoever, just, oh, yeah, they're at the top. Okay, step back.
Yeah, step back. And if they get a wobble, wait for that wobble.
Yeah.
And don't turn your back just because they're walking off, because you see that.
Yeah, and let them have their moment in the spotlight. I don't need to be in it. But, you know, that's the way he's doing it. But, I mean, all of that aside, he's a great fucking spotter. He's doing his job, you know what I mean? He's
showing up, he's keeping people safe.
Yeah, and he's showing up. He's reliable.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely memeable, which is great.
Yeah. And fair enough. And fair dues to Jer for taking the piss out of him, because, you know, I mean, he wouldn't do that to many people.
No, not Jer. Not Jer.
I mean, he's so nice. No, but it is something to be said, though. Like, you kind of just have to take it on the chin. If you're going to be up on people's arses like that, you got to take a bit of stick.
Yeah, I mean, surely you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Like, this is all over the internet. It's coming.
And a cowboy hat as well.
Yeah, like it was always going to happen. All right, so look, I want to touch on a couple of things. I think, Emma, given that it's your first podcast, I think people are going to have quite a lot. I think you might hate this, but people really admire you, look up to you. I mean, that makes a lot more sense than people doing it with Jake. I'm not quite sure what that's about. But with yourself, like,
she's worse than me.
People have looked at you for years and years and have really looked at how you've grown as a lifter, as an athlete. I think people are going to want to know things like approaches around nutrition, for example. How do you approach that? I know you work with Anna Horahan.
Yeah.
So shout out to Anna
Abs
there for
Nutrition,
looking after that with Abs Nutrition. What is your overall approach to nutrition? We can see with Jake's, obviously, it's eat it all the time.
Yeah, but like yours.
No, I eat a little bit less.
I don't know, man. You seem to be catching up there.
I'm doing my best. I'm trying to grow the squat, but my deadlift's going backwards.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
But what's your approach to that aspect of it? Is that something that you keep on top of diligently?
Yeah, like obviously now off the comp, I wouldn't be as diligent now, and like the week or two after, but like I'll be back on it now for Euros, like make sure, you know, I'm tracking and everything. But I have to eat a lot of food, so even I notice myself now, if I'm not tracking since nationals, my weight will drop.
Yeah.
So I have to manage that if I want to get my weight back up. You know, if I stop tracking, I'd be back low 70s very, very quickly.
Okay, yeah. You find it hard to keep the weight on.
Yeah, definitely.
And your approach around nutrition, like what kind of, are you eating mostly whole foods? Do you just eat whatever you want as long as it's within your calorie count? Are you a bit more flexible?
I'd say I eat well, but I'll eat what I want. Like I'm not going to restrict myself. Like 80% of the food I eat, I'd say, is good quality food.
It's pretty good food.
Yeah.
And what about then for yourself, Jake? I know you were a big proponent there for a while of the vertical diet, if I'm not mistaken.
I like the vertical diet.
I like it as well.
Yeah, I find it
as a structure.
I find it's the structure of it.
Yeah.
Wake up, you have a ribeye, and I'm good to go. You know what I mean? And I like that. I find myself, I'm not with it. You know, that's like. At the moment, I'm gonna be fucking next days ago. I'm trying to get back on it. You know, that's
we all do it.
Yeah, we're trying to get back on it. I went back up over 140. I want to pull myself back down to 130. You know,
compete at that or just
be back down at that for a while. You know, it just for the body. You know, the body just needs a break from being like. I mean, at one stage I was 160. So I want to just keep working my way down again. You know, that's why deconstruct the super heavyweight.
And I think we saw at your last Abs Pro performance that actually
it benefits.
What did you weigh in at that?
I weighed in at 145, I think. But overall, I had been lighter for so long. You know, that's what I'd gotten better at the longer arms for the deadlifts and stuff like that.
You see, your body composition improved a lot. You looked a lot more jacked, you looked a lot more athletic. You know, especially for a super heavyweight powerlifter, that's not the easiest thing in the world to be able to do.
Especially when I went looking like, we used to look like a fucking egg, you know.
Speaking of eggs,
where the hell the eggs at?
I should have brought some up. Oh yeah, they'll be there tomorrow. The Rainbow Farm eggs. I named them after my nephew who's passed.
Cren eggs.
Yeah.
Those Mike O'Hearn eggs.
Yeah. Man, they're the most expensive cunt eggs I've ever owned. I swear to God, I'm constantly putting money into building more shit for them and buying more chickens. I just
love it.
I just love it,
doing
man.
Yeah.
Just the,
Jay with caravans.
yeah, Jay
Mike
with
Tyson
caravans.
with pigeons, Jay with caravans, Jake with lizards and chickens.
Yeah, man. I used to have pigeons and they nearly killed me. I got a thing called pigeon lung and my lungs fucking collapsed basically.
What's that?
It's like the dust and the mites got into my lungs and it clogged up all the capillaries, all the little air sacs, and it just filled them all up. And my body couldn't get rid of them, and it was just my body just leached oxygen.
Yeah, I knew. I don't know if you guys knew. I probably told you something. I used to own a pet shop at one point.
What?
I never knew that.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. Yeah,
You fucking gypsy.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I bet you that was all only for fucking smuggling money through.
No, it was not.
It was.
not.
That was laundry money.
No, it was. I was my partner at the time. She was out of work and started buying and selling like dog products as like a side hustle, and then an opportunity came up to take over a store, and I ended up acquiring the store, and I started breeding like guinea pigs and hamsters and birds. And
Which shop is that now in pet? Is that the
it was called Pet Shack.
Yeah, but which one is it? That's I heard of that.
And I moved Urban Barbell into there. It was after COVID. It just went. Okay. And I went through a divorce, and I wasn't really invested in it anymore. I wanted to move on to I was really invested in the gym, and that was where I saw things going. But yeah, like with the birds, we would have to, when we would clean out, especially once you got the exotic birds in.
Yeah,
you have to have the heat lamps in there, and when they'd obviously shit on the floor, and if it got the heat on it, you didn't have a mask, and if you inhale that, it could paralyze you. It's happened to a few people.
Make you sick, like it's, and because pigeons they defecate a lot, and they're living in a loft, so basically, and there's no airflow in the loft, other than them flapping their wings, which kicks up the dust and the feces and particles and. So so basically, I spent the summer there fucking with me pigeon, like Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I ended up fucking in hospital for 2 weeks.
Well,
I was only 15. I was only like 15 or something, man. And then we came out. My dad was like, "I'm getting rid of that loft." And he fucking lights it on fire. Right, this massive big shed going up, and the fire brigade showed up and everything. I was mad.
And that's on the next podcast. Yeah. But to bring it back around, so we know around the nutrition stuff.
Oh yeah, that's where we're going.
Let's get into the recovery side of it then a little bit, because Jake, I want to come back to you about the reach rumble, because I think it's class, so it needs some airtime. But in terms of nutrition, you obviously see there's a lot going on the last couple of years, especially in the last 1 to 2 years, around ice baths, compression boots, saunas, all this contrast therapy. A lot of people are venturing into that. What is your kind of approach to it? I'll come to you first, Emma. What's your approach to recovery? Do you do anything specific? Is it as simple as I like to read a book and go for a walk, or do you have any protocols that you follow?
I think I'm really good at like my sleep and stuff. I've got into good pattern with that, like I'd say in the last year too. Before that, I don't think I paid much attention to that. Yeah. And I think that's made a massive difference to
the sleep
my
has
recovery.
made a massive difference.
Yeah, sleep is huge. And how do you yourself then rate these kind of like newer protocols that a lot of people are following? I think for me personally, I think it's a bit of a trend. It's a fad. I like that people are getting to run businesses out of it. Don't get me wrong. I like to see people making a conscious effort towards recovery, but I don't know if there's much clear value in it outside of like it's expensive and it's you doing something to wind down. I've tried it. Obviously, I've tried it out, but I don't think anything really replaces just sleep and just switching off and relaxing.
Sleep and good food.
Yeah.
I mean, I only happened the other day. Someone messaged me, "Jake, are these any good pills?" I was like, "Do you sleep? No. Do you eat? Would you eat? You tracking your cat? You eating your food? No, not really." I was like, "Well, why don't you do that before you go and spend 50 quid on pills?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Like tick all those boxes first.
Yeah. Like most people that do the recovery, like don't get me wrong, the likes of Luke Tolman, who is anal about everything. Like,
if it gives him 1%.
Yeah, if it gives him 1%, that's different for him. Dave, when we were away, that cunt just sleeps. Yeah, I'm going for a sleep and do 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? Whenever he gets a chance, he's asleep.
Yeah.
And I think that
works.
That works for him. Obviously, I mean, the motherfucker's going for 1,100 kilo.
Yeah, he's the guy. So. Yeah, I think like that. You do see these things again. It probably comes down to social media. You're just so hyper exposed to these things.
I think it's a lot of bollocks.
And then it's a lot of influencers being given free cold plunges for their backyard.
I do love a sauna now. I'm not gonna lie.
But you like a sauna,
and that's the difference. If you love something,
But I don't know, like, are there any performance recovery benefits? I actually don't know, but I enjoy it.
If it's a placebo, that works. If it works, but it's a placebo, it still works.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think anything that can help you reduce cortisol and get into a state of rest and digest. And if that's your jam and that's the kind of thing that helps you do that, for some people, it could be playing video games, playing an instrument, or
game ball, like
just reading a book. For some people, it's going for a walk and walking their dog, or just chilling out.
For me, it's going and working on my chicken shed.
Yeah, that's active recovery.
Yeah.
You know,
I love it, man. I go down there, fucking doing it, you know, messing around with them. It's just fucking, it's great.
Yeah, and I mean, I think those are the important things with recovery. There's no one special thing. As far as I know, there is evidence to support contrast therapy, but it has to be hot cold.
Yeah.
And I think there's some evidence to support for resistance trained athletes. So not so much field sports. You see a lot of field sport athletes using the boots, the compression boots. As far as I know, it's more so the evidence is specific to resistance trained athletes. So weightlifters, strongmen, powerlifters, and you nearly have to sleep with them on actually to actually see a tangible benefit to the boots. Sorry to anyone that's using the boots, but
I like them, but I don't know if they're that accessible for us, like in terms of where, you know.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, they're like 250 quid for a pair, aren't they?
Yeah.
I thought they were like $1,000.
Oh, well, there you
Decent
go.
ones, like the normal tech ones. Like,
oh, you have that.
No, not for that. I don't want to spend it on the
Urban
podcast.
Barbell,
I spent all of my money to do a podcast. Won't hang out with you guys. The only way you hang out with me.
But like, there's a good crew in abs now. I'd say there's a good 10 of us that solidly do the hot and cold, going out to these outdoor saunas, and we love it.
But that's banter as well.
It's banter.
Yeah,
and
you see, that's the thing. You're hanging out with friends.
Remember when we used to all go for lunch?
And we'd be there for all day, like.
Yeah, we do too. Like we used to go to this old place.
Roosters.
Fucking hell, man! When we rock in, we go for lunch
At like 1.
And we could be there till 5 o'clock to get another meal.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. I think that's what really helps you recover. It's just being able to relax and enjoy yourself. I think that's how we, ultimately see ourselves recover, because we can reduce cortisol. We can start to get into a much more relaxed state, and then that's when the body's in its best state to actually recover. I just felt like it's something that people are going to be curious about. What is it that you guys are doing that make you different, that make you special? It's nothing special about anyone in particular, other than hard work and dedication and
I think that's
staying
really
disciplined.
I think, but I mean, we were speaking about it. I think most people, they all want the magic bullet.
Yeah.
And there's no one magic bullet. And most lads, most of the best in the world, like Usain Bolt was just Usain Bolt. He didn't fucking, he was just born that way.
He was.
Phelps was just born that way. Didn't matter what you would have done to Phelps. Phelps would have been the best at whatever sport he was doing. And he found his way into swimming, and he was that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fucking one nut fella, what's his name? The cyclist.
Lance
Armstrong. Like, I mean, they were all on the same drugs.
Yeah, they were all taking them.
They were all on the same drugs. He was just smashing it. He was better. He would have been better with no drugs. He would have, and
just genetically gifted,
just genetically better. Like Dave was a 930, 940 totaler in sleeves. Natural, and then you put a year and a half, 2 years of fucking, 2 years, not even 2 years, and he added 170 or 150 kilos to his total. He's him. He's just him. And I think that's just the way it is. I think if lads, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but I'll say it anyways. At the end of the day, most lifters are going to be mediocre to slightly better than mediocre.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And like, I'm a little bit better than a mediocre lifter, but I'm shite at other stuff. And that's just the way it is. Like, I'm not going to be a fucking savage cyclist.
Yeah.
Fucking tires will pop.
No, for the shit I give you, you're not that bad.
No, well, at cycling I am.
Yeah, at cycling you're not great. It depends what you're cycling.
The town bike.
All right, so Jake, just to come, because I want to give it, we're going to start wrapping up shortly, but I want to give some airtime to the Ab Series Reach Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've said it, and I'll keep saying it. I'll die on this. The Ab Series is the greatest thing to happen in the world of Irish powerlifting, but potentially the world of modern powerlifting. I think for Jay as he's a trendsetter in the sport.
Everything.
What was the experience like? What would talk us through it? What was the Reach Rumble Salt Lake City experience?
I was brilliant. Like, I was going shooting guns was savage. But it was.
Leave out the squats.
The actual comp.
Yeah. The comp. Look, the venue was brilliant. The guys were sound. Everybody was sound. I think next year it's going to be it's going to blow the top off of it.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
I think Reach Rumble 1, it's like Abs Pro 1. Do you know, that's the way it was? It was just in its infancy, but now it has more drawing power than Abs Pro 2, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's going to have way more.
And all the sponsors and all backing it.
Yeah, and more people in it, more eyes on it. I think next year, who knows who's going to win, because it's fucking some.
It's massive.
It's going to pull some savages out of the woodwork.
The Clash is doing that. The Clash roster.
The names, like, it's just insane.
If half of those names manage to see through the end of a prep, because that happens.
Yeah.
But if half of that roster sees through that prep
Just
and
don't put
turns
them
up
on the poster.
just don't listen. He'll never put me on a poster again. Fuck.
No, but if half those boys show up, it's going to be. I mean, there's going to be 1,100 kilo total, maybe 3, maybe, but I doubt it. I'd say 2 at a push. I mean, this is the thing. Like, they all travel, they cut weight, they do whatever they're doing. Man, it's. I mean, how many times have we sat here and predicted there's going to be this many and there's going to be that many, and there's not.
Yeah, no, I think that's always going to be the case. Is that not everyone trains to the standard, especially if it's your first ab series.
Yeah,
your total's usually inflated coming in,
and it goes back to our point earlier about the 2 girls.
Yeah,
the pro.
It's just like you just keep the standards there, but when you turn up on that day, you got to drop all them expectations. Especially if you're your first time at the ab series, you're not going to be the one that comes in and rocks the boat. No. Very, very unlikely.
And I think
Colton might. But we've said that about Nick Dupree.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Now, he did rock it a little bit. It has to be real. I mean,
listen, but like, it was like everyone was saying Nick's running away with this.
Yeah, and he didn't. And then Dan Bell, he was coming over. I mean, he fell short on depth. He should have picked. I mean, had he just gone for the 445 again or 435, whatever it was, instead of reaching for that 1,000, he'd have done that on the 3rd and he'd have walked away with it. You know, that's right.
Yeah.
But he didn't. So you can speculate all you want. For me, like, I don't think most powerlifters aren't used to the crowd that way.
Yeah.
Like,
or pressure. Remember all these other big federations, all these other big comps. It's usually just John Hack or it's just Dan Bell, and then another. I mean, this is potentially a lot of these guys who haven't competed in the IPF.
15 of the best lifters in the world ever.
Yeah.
Going head to head.
It might be the first time they've been under pressure to beat somebody.
And then with a fucking 1,000 people in front of them screaming and inches from their face. It's a big fucking.
It's a big ask.
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
I can't wait for it.
And just again on the reach, like, where do you see this going? Like, do you think that do you see all the big ab series comps? Do you see them staying in Dublin? Do you see them all eventually moving to America?
No, I'd say them here forever. Like, I mean, there's always the reach will happen, and it's going to become the Reach Rumble, and it's going to be like the Clash.
Yeah. Abs Pro's not going anywhere.
Abs Pro is never going out of the Abs HQ again. Abs Clash will never leave HQ again. I don't think. You
just can't replicate it.
Can't replicate it.
No,
I mean, the history, the vibe, the grit, the guts, all about it. I mean, the piss, the shit, the blood, all of it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, you got to keep some of that essence of powerlifting in there. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was too. I don't know, man.
Even the lads that come over all the time, like Dave and all, like, I even think they picked up on the
vibe was different at the Abs Pro. I mean, had that have been Abs Pro HQ in August, the place would have been crammed top to top.
It would have been
wedged, whereas it wasn't. For all the money and all the talk that we're going to go because people wanted a new venue, people wanted this. Oh, well, they didn't go.
Yeah,
they didn't go.
Yeah,
and all the effort for everyone that got involved and people that traveled all over the country just to come to help out at it, and it was, I mean, I like it at the HQ. Obviously, HQ has some weather problems.
Yes.
But it's character built.
But it is character. Yeah, I would agree with that. This Abs winter act that's about to happen.
But everybody gets it, man. We all get treated the same. Like, I mean, if you compete in November, like, whatever you get is what you get.
It's what you get, yeah.
You know, I mean, we've done it 2021 and 2020 and 22.
Girls walking around in dressing gowns.
Literally, heaters. It's girls just with their dressing gowns like that trying to fucking suck up the heat, you know.
Yeah.
These little scrawny fuckers, they're dying. They're
Tiny,
cold. Yeah. I mean, who was a Heather? literally that Heather and
Heather
Heather
Maria.
Connor and Maria T.
Tiny
Yeah.
lifters.
And Maria T out in fucking Newfoundland, like motherfucker out -40 out there, and she's like,
Yeah. It's like I thought you'd be used to it. Yeah, I mean, I personally hate the cold, but you put up with it. You put up, especially for the moment it's in it.
Yeah.
Like this weekend's going to be a cold one.
Oh, it
but
is.
I mean, it's still going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Is it got fire breathers? We could do with a few fire breathers.
No, but
It's
that
the
was.
one time we don't have
No,
them.
remember we had them and they were giving out them one year.
Yeah, because
They got really,
well, that's because
they got nearly burned.
they kept spraying fire all over us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but I remember fucking one of the fire breathers back in the old HQ. Actually, yeah, you were there. You were spotting me that time, and fucking set a guitarist on fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the band.
Yeah.
That's why they're never.
Yeah, and it was fucking mad. And he just kept playing while Shannon was still lifting, man. It was fucking mad.
I love that comp. I told you this. We've chatted about this in the DMs a few times. That comp was a pivotal turning point for me. It was you specifically watching your deadlift. You see me skulking beside you in one of the pictures. It's
Yeah.
like I think I want to catch him. I haven't, but it's like for me, it's like that chase.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean. It's like I want to share that platform. I'm going to keep working till I get there. I have the rack and the bar. I have that kabuki bar.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I have that kabuki bar. I have that rack.
And see, the history of things is great. Like there was, I don't know where it's gone, but from that competition, I think it was that competition, and what's his name? He dumped the bar and fucking wrecked one of the.
I have
legs.
it. That's my rack.
You have that
I
one?
have that rack. I have that rack.
VTech.
Yeah, it was VTech. Yeah.
Yeah, jumped 355 onto it.
Yeah, I have that rack at the gym. I wanted it. I wanted that. I wanted the bar because that was the comp when I said, "This is where I'm going.
That's cool, man.
This is where I'm
Now
going."
you have to go.
Yeah. I have to go down.
Yeah, that was where I knew that was where I wanted to be, and that was where I saw myself going. I go for a lot of people, it's the lure of the green singlet, and I love it, and I love being around it. But for me, it was that because that's the era of powerlifting that brought me in, and that's the style of powerlifting brought me in. It's like that's where I want to be. That's where I want to.
And I think we're still there. I think more than that. I think we're better than that in some ways. But I think the youth coming in, it's pushed it to change and make it go a little bit gentler. I mean, I know abs is way gentler than it was when I joined.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, when I joined, nobody'd even fucking talk to you for a month. You know.
Well, that's because you might bark at him, Jack.
No, but I was scared. I was a gentle soul
They
back
were
then.
telling them your squats are high.
Yeah. Used to make me cry.
Oh yeah, Legatron.
Legatron. Fuck that cunt. Everybody goes, oh yeah, bring Legatron back. No, nobody needs to see you.
I have that Leok Mono as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the Power Mania stuff on it, but yeah, all that old school shit. Jormax old IPF plates with the old IPF sticker.
No way.
Jormax
That's
closed down
cool,
patch as
that's
well. I
cool.
bought all of them. I love collecting this shit. I'll waste money on. I bought the Nike bar for fuck's sake, just cause.
What's that like actually?
It's it's grand. I haven't taken it for a full spin. I'm gonna do it next week and do like a review after a month. I'll run a full block on all my lifts on it. The grip is okay. They said it's aggressive knurling. It's not. A Rogue Power Bar, a Rogue High Power Bar is better. It looks like the Rogue one. What I'm more interested to see is how it holds up by comparison to the black bar, the black Rogue Bar, to see does it fray as much as it does all the black rub off. The grip isn't as good, but I did see, I don't know if you guys seen it, Frank, go on to Jesus, his page, it might be like Mega Gorilla or something
Oh,
like
you
that.
squat 1,000 pounds on that?
No, he pulled 410 on it.
Oh my
He
God.
pulled 410. It went up yesterday. Go on to Instagram. I knew the TV come in handy. So type in like MEJ.
Mega Gojira.
MEG, is it?
Gee.
Is it MEG?
Yeah, you fucking dyslexic cunt.
Yeah, there, number 3. Jesus.
Yes, they're telling them J.
He told him, Jay.
He's got it. Where is it? Going to Reels.
Spelled with R-E-A-L.
He put it. Where is it? He pulled it. He was in an orange singlet. I seen it yesterday.
Oh, they're down.
Is that it on the Nike bar? What's on that? Try that one.
Yeah, that's it. 910 pounds, 413 kilos.
I don't know if this is on the Nike bar. No, it's not. He posted it. Nike sent him out a Nike bar, and he pulled it on. Oh, it's that one. It's that one. The 420. That's the Nike bar.
420.
420. So the grip is absolutely fine on that bar.
Oh my God.
That's going to shit whip with a heavy squat.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to flex on a heavy squat.
Look,
Yeah, like see him try it out with that for squat.
look at that. That's going to shit whip on a heavy squat, man. You won't never worry about that.
No,
but-
I'll never have to worry
I mean,
about it.
everybody else. Emma might. Yeah.
It's like I'm strong, but not for where I compete.
No. Neither am I anymore.
That's that bar anyway.
Man, he's a
Cheers,
freak.
Frankie. Yeah, he's a freak, man.
He's a freak.
He's built different. All right, so I'm gonna close it up with a quick fire Q&A. All right, so now
bit
it
of
needs
finger
to be.
blasting. Ew.
Now, Jake, I reckon you'll be quick to answer. Emma, no overthinking.
Oh God, yeah, right. Here we go.
So we go first. Favorite accessory, Emma.
Oh, I like a bit of back work.
Jake.
Yeah, back work, heavy lap pull downs.
Maybe that pull-ons. Okay. Something all powerlifters should do but don't do.
Sleep more.
Yeah, I agree.
I would have said cardio in general.
Oh yeah,
No,
that
I
too.
don't. We know
I was
you
expecting
don't.
you to
Oh,
say.
yeah.
I was expecting you to say steroids. Something all powerlifters should do, but don't. If you had to remove one lift, what would it be?
Well, it depends on when.
I'm
Right
amazing.
now,
yeah.
it's probably dead.
Yeah, for both of us, it's dead.
Yeah,
For fuck's sake.
What's your favorite lift and why?
Again, it depends.
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
I love bench, man.
I love bench too.
Yeah, like when bench was top quality, well, like when I'm injury free and I'm able to send it on bench, there's nothing more powerful than going into a pro gym and
just
be
growing out. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
and you do reps with 200 kilos and the whole gym just stops and looks at you.
Yeah, just ruining everybody. It's
Yeah.
like, I think that's the one for me as well. It's like we stand out so much in general population.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, class.
It's great, man.
Dream competition to win, Jake.
Well, I'd like to get the 2020 Abs Pro reinstated as Abs Pro, but Abs Pro.
Abs Pro. Emma, dream competition to win.
I'd actually love an abs pro, but again, the standards are ridiculous now. With the females.
But that'd be the dream
That
for
would
you.
be a dream. Yeah, yeah.
If you could do one lift for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why? It can be any lift. Doesn't have to be squat, bench,
If I
deadlift.
was doing powerlifting, I could see myself squatting forever in a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just because you just like it, because you're good at it?
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
And it's also the most, useful for the
Yeah.
body. Like, you feel like you've worked.
To full body, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have said the same. I'd pick deadlift, but I would have said the same thing, similar thing. It kind of works a bit of everything, good bang for your buck.
Yeah.
They're the two lifts you're going to lift the most kilos on, so
Yeah.
why not? If you had to compete in a totally different sport, so no strength sport, what would it be?
MMA.
MMA.
Yeah,
I think I'd be deadly.
you know,
I actually would be.
Yeah,
you know
I wouldn't scrap you anyway.
Johnny Walker actually
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, you have to be crazy." So
Emma
he's
be
like,
out there tearing roots.
Man, I think solo rowing.
Solo rowing.
Yeah, because I just fucking blast that shit, man. I just love it.
Yeah,
I think
you
because-
just like the heavy back
You'd have
work.
the power for it. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's fucking deadly.
All right. What is your go-to hype song that never fails to fire you up?
Oh, a bit Eminem.
Any particular song? Just anything.
Cold Wind Blows.
Okay.
Whatever they're playing on the
Britney
radio.
Whatever the plan on there.
Yeah, I love Britney and I love all that, but like the Who, whenever any of that Who stuff comes on, man, it's like
Oh yeah,
Oh, I
the
love
Mongolian
that.
throat singing. Yeah.
yeah, it's
But
primal.
when I hear that, I just like that just rings in my ears from series 1.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
hear that dum dum
Yeah.
dum.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, and it's like it's primal as fuck.
Yeah, it's primal, right? It just kind of fires you up.
And you know when you're getting hyped up, Jay's rapping me and it comes across the fucking whole gym and it's just like
Right.
it's game on.
Yeah, you feel it. You're in the moment with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song. I love anything by him, but particularly what was that? What's
Wolf
the-
Totem or
Wolf
something.
Totem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucking savage.
It just brings something out. It's like you're like a movie in your head, and
Yeah.
you're getting raps on it.
It's just, it taps into that fucking deep.
I feel like every sub junior walking around a regional comp with headphones on. I'm the fucking best.
Yeah.
All right, if you could bring back one retired lifter for a head-to-head battle with you, who would it be?
Easy. Rona.
Yeah, yourself.
They're not retired, so but VTech.
Oh yeah, VTech would be a good one.
Yeah,
You only got to compete in once, did you? Or did you
Yeah,
compete in the
just the
IPO
once,
zone?
just
Just
the
once
once.
at the Abs Pro.
yeah.
I think for me it would be Brett Gibbs.
Who's that?
Brett Gibbs. He was the 83 guy. Him and John Hack had a big
Oh,
head to
yeah,
head, and then Ross came out, lost to him, then demolished him. Russell,
yeah.
Russell Orhe, and
And then Russ
he never-
lost it this year, didn't he?
Yeah,
He lost this
yeah,
year.
Yeah, to like a fucking sleeper.
yeah. He was a sleeper. Yeah, yeah. The GB lifter. He absolutely
But Russ squats high as fuck, anyways.
all the time.
All the
All the
time.
time.
He just gets gifted his squats. Kind of like the girls at the fucking nationals this year.
And we'll be right
Unless
back.
they were abs. Unless they were abs. You know what I mean? Unless they were abs,
Yeah,
the girls got
so.
gifted their squats, especially on that second one.
Jake is throwing it out there today, boy.
What am I throwing out?
Just getting it just stalled.
Why isn't Emma, what are you trying to do?
We're trying
fuck it, man.
to. We want to get to episode
Those
2,
could-
Jake. We're
no,
trying to get a
fuck that.
second episode in there.
In fairness, there was some bad calls made on it, and there's always bad calls made by refs. It's all in the moment, but sometimes it kind of goes, here.
Yeah, I think my view on nationals is that there were definitely some questionable calls made. I don't think anyone goes out of their way
No.
in any competition to ruin anyone else's day. And I think if you're not in the chair, it's just things like this happen.
Absolutely. And I've
it's
been in the
unfortunate.
chair and I've ruined people's days, and it's not on purpose.
And you don't do it on purpose.
No.
And I think you'll always, upon reflection, you'll have refs that turn. Upon reflection, maybe I could have called that one a bit different.
Yeah.
But these things happen in the moment. We just got to come back, be better next time.
No, and that is true. And I genuinely, as much as I'm being salty, and I'm not really, I'm just having
No, you're just having a bit of
just
crack.
stirring the shit.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I've been a ref, and I wouldn't go after a ref, and I wouldn't attack refs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had people come at me, and it's like, what the fuck,
Like
man?
full on arguments.
Yeah, I mean, and it's always me. They always seem to target. I don't know fucking why, little cunts. But I understand it. You know what I mean? We all get emotional in the moment. But no, I have no problem with refs anyways. Like, I just like to stir the shit.
No, you referee yourself as well, so
Yeah.
you know, you get it. Yeah, I think stirring the shit is what makes it fun.
Yeah,
Well, it's great having you here.
I love stirring it.
I can't wait for people to get the clips of this, send it around and complain about you.
Oh, sure will. And they always complain about me. I swear to God.
No, not just you. Just you and everyone you're associated with.
Well, I mean, it's always one of those things. It's fucking, they don't know me, and then they get to know me, and it's even worse.
I totally disagree. But I also kind of see it. All right, last 2 questions. What's the one thing about strength sports that you think people need to know?
It's a long,
Takes time.
long time.
Yeah.
Unless you're a freak, and if you're a freak, the likelihood is you'll be gone quicker than most.
Yeah, I think we all get a bit disenfranchised with it. We still keep coming for it.
Sure, look
You
at
ask a
this.
new person, they're like,
This is gone. She's done 3 years. She fucked off.
yeah.
I remember Bryce Lewis shared like this graph, and it was like 10 years of progress, and it's like, you know, have my ups and downs and whatever, but this is 10 years of solid, consistent progress. And, you know, if you just burn out, you know, you're never going to last to those 10
Yeah.
years. And I kind of think of that. I don't think a lot of people think that far down the line.
They get this, and then it goes this, and once
Gone.
it does that, and it with a pain, they quit.
Yeah, you see a lot of people who start to find excuses.
Yeah. And once you start pulling out of comps, pussy boy.
I always turn back up though.
Yeah.
Listen, my
When
whole
was the
life,
last time you competed?
just before I went to Prague the last time, last March, February, something like that.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
no, I've competed this year. I did it injured as well.
Fucking
I had a real injury, an MRI and everything on it. I was proper hurt.
just because you could pay for it.
Listen, I have health insurance. You're a fucking adult too. You can't get it.
Coming
Like,
out now, Jesus.
No, but I think once you pull out once you pull out a one, and then you pull out a second,
It's easy.
it's easy. Once it becomes a habit, that's it. It's on.
yeah, I think with me, I've pulled out of a few, but sometimes I sign up for comps when I shouldn't have.
Yeah,
I don't sign up with the right
pulling out
intention.
a long time away is different than pulling out 6 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out.
This one I would have loved to have done. It just didn't make sense. But my life is in the sport. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah,
so,
I know,
but I think in general, yeah, I think people that pull out of comps because I don't care.
They're not
how
right.
it-
It's
if
just
they're
not
worried about
perfect.
performing or prep didn't go well. It's like, fuck your prep. Just go out and do it.
Go
yeah,
have
you got to
fun.
nigga, just drop the number back. Like, just go out and do the thing and get your comp experience, get your platform time in. And last piece, best advice you've ever received in lifting.
Don't be shit.
That's a fair one. You stole Emma's.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. But yeah, just about being consistent. Just keep showing up.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just build your total.
Yeah. Build yourself one lift at a time.
One lift at a time,
One lift
yeah.
at a time is
Yeah.
a genuine thing that I try and. I mean,
We've said this about today.
one lift at a time. Because like tonight, there's lads sitting at home going, "Well, if I hit that over an opener, and
But then if you don't hit your second, then your whole day's gone.
yeah, but if I don't, I'll drop it. I know, fuck. But what if I'm not feeling?
Then
like,
I'm going to have to add 20 kilos
Yeah.
to my deadlift. And,
Yeah,
you know.
I always think of it. I'm going to have a shit squat. And once I think of it, I'm going to have a shit squat, and my squat goes great. Oh, grand, I can open
Yeah,
up
yeah. You got the best case scenario
Yeah.
instead of the worst case scenario. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate you joining. It means a lot, Emma, especially for your first podcast. It's, you know, I feel very privileged. And Jake, for all you do for the sport, constantly paying it forward. You know, you've been a good friend to me and a good friend to me in the sport. And
well, I love the sport, man. And I think genuinely, if you're a game ball for, I think we should start trying to help educate and push things
I'm down
forward.
for that. I will put that together and I'll come back to you for something in January. I'm very much a doer, so you'll hear from me.
Unlike the LJ fella.
Yeah, no, I love Jay and all, but
No,
you know,
he's a bollocks.
he's our bollocks.
But he's our bollocks.
Yeah, so guys, for anyone that's following along, please keep up with Emma and Jake on their social medias, kind of keep up with their progress, their lifting. Jake is always good for a rant in the car. And if you want to know what a professional athlete looks like in this sport, please follow along with Emma's.
Emma, not me.
I mean, Jake works hard. You do. I mean, you work hard.
Yeah, the odd time.
Yeah, but I mean, you're at it a long time. But Emma, you are built different for that. You're an absolute machine. So, and keep up for any upcoming episodes we have. Frankie, that's it. We're out. Slán, good night.
Thanks for having us.
Peace.
Survived.
Survived, yeah.